Hello there, and you're very welcome to another episode of the Arkham Avengers FFPL podcast. You join me, the host, along with Eamon, Hector, and Captain Fantastical Mick, where we take a look to see how the managers in this league are getting on for the season. However, we'll also be talking about much more. So kick back, stay tuned, and enjoy. And a very warm welcome to all our listeners to another episode. This week, I'm joined by Eamon, and Hector and Captain Fantastical Mick have also dropped in. So we've got a full house. Can I start with you first, Mick? And how goes it?
Hello, lads. Hello, listeners. It's nice to be back here. I've got a little break from Blackpool for a couple of days, and I thought I'd come in and see how everybody's getting on. Well, as you might know, it's a little bit hectic there, trying to get out of the relegation zone. Okay, some of the results are not going our way, but myself and the lads, we're going to keep plugging away, and we'll see what we can do. We've got about 12 games left to turn it around, and I'm very confident we can do this.
So, Mick, what you're telling us here is there's a little bit of pressure.
There's a little bit, yeah, but I mean, there's always pressure when you're in football. You know, you could be top of the table, or you could be mid-table, or rack. We're down at the bottom just at the moment, and that's where I've taken over on. But I can cope with it. The players can cope with it. We're positive. We're working hard. We're trying to do our best.
Well, we wish you all the luck with that now, Mick, and thanks for coming in and joining us on this episode here. Eamon, I'll turn over to you next, and how are you keeping?
I'm keeping very well, thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here this week. I'm looking forward to checking in to see how our managers are. It's nice to see Captain Fantastical Mick back with us here. And Mick, who knows, you could be joining us on a more regular basis after this season.
Well, we'll have to see, Eamon. We'll have to see, man. I'm there until the end of the season, and look, after that, who knows?
And it's always nice to see that Hector has decided to join us also.
Hector, you've come in from the cold. Can I ask how you've been since we last spoke to you? I mean, I can see clearly, pardon the pun, you've got the glasses fixed anyway. I be well, thank you for asking. And, I want to say a big hello to all our listeners. Hello to Mick, nice to see you here. Eamon, always pleasure to see you here. Yeah, I got the glasses fixed, and everything is looking good now. I'm looking after them, always fine. I was away for a few days. A couple of my friends and myself, we went to Belfast, and we went over to Dublin. Oh, very good. That's very nice. Nothing like a little breakaway there. And I'm sure you've got a couple of stories. Funny you mentioned that. I have a couple of, three stories. When we were in Belfast, I was going,
Hold on a second now, Hector. Not so fast. Not so fast.
I'm sorry, Eamon.
We have a story of our own for you, Hector.
You have a story, Eamon?
That's right, Hector. You see, while you were away, we had a special interview, you might say.
You have interview? Who you interview? When you do interview?
Oh, I don't know if I really should be saying too much here. Fortunate that you missed out on it. What would you say, host? Should we tell him, or should we keep quiet at the moment here?
Well, I certainly know this now. Hector, we're going to be disappointed, and there's no beating around the bush on that. Disappointed? I know, fellow here. What's going on here? Mick, you know what they're saying?
Don't ask me, Hector. I've not been here. I don't know what they're talking about. You know, I'm trying to save Blackpool. That's my gig at the moment.
Hector, yes. While you were out getting your glasses fixed, I have to say, I tried ringing you, and I did leave you a few text messages to let you know that one of the managers called in to visit us and was happy to take part in an interview. You rang me? Yes, I rang you, and I left a voice message, and I sent you a couple of text messages. Maybe I was meeting my friend and having the cup of tea and the scone. Sometimes that happens when people try to contact me on the phone. Then
You don't bother with the phone, is what you want to say, Hector, isn't it? You just ignored the phone, even though this text message, this phone call was really important for you.
Why?
Well, I think we may as well announce it. The manager who came in was none other than Raglan Road, who's also the Mystery Recitation Man.
Huh? Eamon, stop it. You're trying to make a joke out of it, eh? Honestly, Hector, no, there's no joke here. Remember a couple of episodes there, the call went out to see if the Mystery Recitation Man would come in to see us. Well, he popped in and we had a chat.
And of course, we couldn't get through to you because you're too busy having tea and scones and whatever the rest of the stuff.
This can't be. I don't believe this.
Trust us, Hector. We got a nice, entertaining interview and, it's all in the can.
So when is this interview coming out? This is all breaking news. Hector, you didn't know anything about this.
I know nothing about this. This is first I hear of this here now. Mick, the interview was actually going to come out last week, but however, something came up and we decided to hold off releasing it just out of a mark of respect. However, I've had a chat with the Raglan Road manager and we've agreed, look, it's going to come out probably in the next 2 weeks as such there. Look, we'll keep everybody updated on that there. I still not believe this. This has to be a joke. Eamon, you're trying to pull leg here, so it is. Why is the date? Is it date? Is it April the 1st? Yeah. Why is the date here?
Hector.
Why is it Mick?
I think they're being deadly serious here. I don't see them, laughing or anything. I think this is serious.
This can't be. This cannot be. How could this happen?
Hector, watch this space.
Now, I think it's time to move on to the football and see what went on in Game Week 24 and what the league table is looking like here. Game Week 24 saw the highest points come in at 114 and the average points came in at 44. There's no change in first place. Kane's keeper, 48 points. Eamon, search off on this one.
They didn't have any transfers and their goalkeeper was Arkham 2 points. Shaw came in with 6 points. Trippier came in with 1 point. Gabriel had 1 point. Moydow came in with 2 points. Odegaard had 8 points. Rashford had 15 points. De Bruyne had 2 points. Kane, 5 points. Nketiah came in with 2 points. They opted for Haaland as the captain, who got them 4 points. They will be bitterly disappointed with the captain choice. Haaland bringing back 4 points. He's really not what you expect from him. It's a bit of a kick, so it is there in the ankle. A few defenders here are also letting the team down. They were in a good run, I have to say. Hopefully this is only a temporary slip-up. They're still keeping ahead of second and third place, so there really isn't a lot in it now at the moment. It's getting tight there, and I think now they're going to be looking over their shoulder just to see how near these two lads are to them. They need to sort of buck up ever so slightly here.
So they need to buck up is what you're saying.
Yes, buck up is what I'm saying.
In second place then, no change either. The good, the bad and the goalie. 47 points, Hector. What did you make of this team? They had the one transfer. João Felix came in, they got him the 2 points. They put the Nketiah out and he got the 2 points. The goalkeeper was the Ederson, 2 points. Trippier had the 1 point. Shaw had the 6 points. White had the 1 point. De Bruyne had the 2 points. Rashford came in with 15 points. Odegaard had 8 points. They had Almiron to bring in the 1 point. The João Felix, as we said, he got the 2 points. Kane had 5 points, and they also had Haaland as the captain for 4 points. The transfer really didn't do nothing much here. 2 points or 2 points. You're going nowhere that fast. A bit like, Kane's a keeper. Captain choice, not great, pretty poor. If I just say, I put it out here, I think they were not willing to gamble. And because they did not gamble, they failed to capitalize on on other players and to try and close in and take first spot. I think they missed the opportunity here. And they will be regretting this. This could be, a very game changer for their season. That this could have been a chance to take first place and make a dash for the finish line. But no, they do nothing. And no change in third place either. Then Toyega, 49 points. Mick, I'll hand this one over to you.
Well, they had one transfer. They brought Lewis in, he didn't get any points. And they put Walker out and he got 2 points. Arkham was in gold for 2 points. Trippier had 1 point. Shaw got 6 points. White had 1 point. Andreas brought in the 3 points. De Bruyne came in with 2 points. Odegaard had 8 points. Rashford had 15 points. Kane had 5 points. Nketiah had 2 points. They went for Haaland as the captain as well, and they only got to 4 points. I think his transfer failed. It was a waste of a transfer. A bit like the other two managers. Poor captain choice this week. Haaland's not living up to it. If they went for Rashford, they actually could have probably taken first place. Now, it might only be a point, didn't it? But they'd have taken first place.
And no change either in fourth place. Arkham Avengers, 71 points, Eamon.
They didn't have any transfers this week. They had De Gea in goals, 7 points. Trippier, 1 point. White, 1 point. Me got 1 point. Fernandes got 12 points. Mitoma brought 2 points in. Odegaard had 8 points. Nketiah, 2 points. Kane had 5 points. Haaland had 2 points. And they opted to captain Rashford, who brought in 30 points. An excellent captain choice. They decided to do something different. They went for a completely different player compared to the other three managers, and it paid off. Now, the defence has let them down, but I think the defence overall this week is letting a lot of managers down, and there's not much you can do about that. They're closing in, though, on the top three, and that's is probably something that all of them are probably going to look here. The Spoofer is keeping form, and it's a good result. 71 points. Well done, Spoofer.
No change either in 5th place. Lafayette Lions with 53 points. Hector, they did not have its answer. And the goalkeeper was Ramsdale. He had 2 points. Saliba had 1 point. Me had the 1 point. Trippier had the 1 point. Martinelli came in with the 6 points. Fernandez, 12 points. Harrison, 2 points. Rashford had 15 points. Haaland had the 2 points. Gnotto had 1 point, and they opted to go for Kane as their captain. He got him 10 points. And I think they did well to go get the 10 points from Kane. He had better than the Haaland anyway. Though he got a few points. And, again, defence not looking great, but they got the points in the midfield. They will take the 53 points. It's not bad. No change either in 6th place with best season ever. 60 points, Mick.
They didn't have any transfer this week. The goalkeeper was De Gea, he got 7 points. Saliba got 1 point. Botman got 1 point. Trippier had 1 point. Odegaard came in with 8 points. Mitoma had 2 points. Almiron had 1 point. Nyakate had 2 points. Kane had 5 points. Haaland had 2 points. And they opted for Rashford as their captain, and they got the 30 points. Went with the right captain this week. Well done. Another case of a weak defence here, but Eamon's already touched on this. Defensively, I think it's not been a week for defenders. A couple of lads in midfield letting them down there. Look, they'll be happy with that. They're not losing ground. A couple of points catching on the other guys up there. Look, it pays off.
No change either then in 7th place for Raglan Road. 58 points, Eamon. 2 transfers, and they lost 4 points.
Yes, they brought Ream in for 6 points. They put the Botman out for 1 point, and then they brought Mahrez in, who didn't get any points. They put Almiron out, who got 1 point. Edison was in goals for them for 2 points. Trippier got 1 point. Ream, as I said, got 6 points. Tarkowski got 8 points. Gabriel, 1 point. Fernandez, 12 points. Marsh came in with 2 points. Saka got 6 points. Rashford, 15 points. Havertz is there with 1 point. And they decided to go with Haaland as the captain. They got 4 points. Bit of a mixed return from the transfer, I have to say here. The Mahrez in and Almiron out didn't pay off there. The captain selection didn't amount to much either. Look, they're not really challenging 6th place here at the moment. For Raglan, considering, the height that they had been, could this be as good as it gets? This sort of form is kind of erring to that side. That 7th place finish might be as good. That's what they're going to have here, and to hold 7.
No change either then in 8th place with Blytham squad, 42 points, Hector. They did not have any transfer this week, and the goalkeeper, Sanchez, 2 points. Ake, 1 point. White, 1 point. Trippier, 1 point. Castagne, 1 point. Saka came in with the 6 points. The Rashford, 15 points. Odegaard came in with the 8 points. Tony, 2 points. Havertz, 1 point. And again, they went, Haaland as the captain and got the 4 points. I think the defence look very weak here. A weak forward, poor captain selection. Things aren't really going their way here as such. The midfield look really solid though. But I don't think this manager is going to be very happy with this. As you saw the result, I think that they want to be getting here. 42 points is a little bit down there. No change either than in 9th place. Maximum effort, 32 points. Mick, what do we make of this?
They didn't have any transfers this week. And the goalkeeper, Pope, he got -3 points. Trippier got 1 point. Botman got 1 point. Saliba got 1 point. Saka had 6 points. Odegaard had 8 points. Grush got 2 points. De Bruyne 2 points. Watkins 8 points. Tony 2 points. And Captain Haaland got 4 points. I think other than Saka and Watkins, the rest of this team is pretty much malfunctioned. There's nothing selling here on this. I don't see any real positives on this. Not much happening there at all.
Eamon, you want to say something?
Yes, I think, again, after the results that they had in Gameweek 23, and we spoke about this, that this was an opportunity to build on that result. They have failed, and they failed miserably on this here. And it's the same old story. They're like a broken record. They have one good week, and everything collapses then after that. And it's not great. It's pretty poor.
No change either in 10th place. What a beauty, 99, 28 points, Eamon.
And no transfer. Surprise, surprise. They had Pope as well. They lost 3 points. Martinez got 6 points. Salah had 1 point. Trippier 1 point. De Bruyne picked up 2 points. Martinelli had 6 points. McAllister had 2 points. Trossard had 2 points. Tony managed 2 points. Now, Solanke did get 5 points. And Haaland as captain got 4 points. Another washed out week for this manager. And I think it's apparent to everybody here now, this manager is off the campus. The monkeys have taken over the team. They're running the show. And it's a pretty poor result, 28 points. You wouldn't go down to the shop for 28 points. No change either in 11th place then. Kalish Bait, 34 points. Hector, another manager who have no transfer. Goalkeeper was the Ward, 2 points. They had the Shishenko who got the 7 points. Nico Williams pick up 1 point. Trippier had 1 point. The Harrison had the 2 points. Salah pick up 6 points. Almiron had 1 point. St. Maximin had 2 points. Tony 2 points. Jesus was on the team and he is injured. And the vice captain was Keane. He managed to get the 10 points. Question is here, what's going on here? Not much. This manager has not been around for a long time. I don't know what they want to do there. Eamon, you have something to say here? Yes, I'm surprised this manager is still here. I'm surprised he's still in this league table here. I mean, do we not have an eject button to get rid of these managers? No, we don't. No, they're in now and that they're locked in, Eamon, and they'll stay put. And I think we need to change the rules next season. Okay, well, that's up for discussion at a later point there. No change either in 12th place. Real, no stars, 37 points, Mick.
Another one of these managers here, he didn't bother with his transfer. And goalkeeper Edison got 2 points. Williams got 1 point. Alexander Arnold got 12 points. Walker Peters didn't get any points. Salah came in with 6 points. De Bruyne had 2 points. Amundsen had 1 point. Doucouré had 2 points. Martinelli had 6 points. Greenwood had 1 point. And they opted for Haaland as the captain. He got 4 points there. Nothing's changed. Even since I've been away, nothing's changed with this guy. Well, it's not even the same old story. I mean, it's nothing. Same old nothing. That's what I've got to say. Same.
Eamon, you want to say something about this manager?
Yes, just a suggestion here. I wonder, could we put this manager and Kalish Bait in to a dinghy and let them float off? I would even go and buy the dinghy myself for them.
Right, okay. No change in 13th place either here. Silver Stroke, 39 points. Hector, I'll hand this one over to you. And this manager had no transfer either. And the goalkeeper Edison had 2 points. Bueno had 2 points. Bourne had 2 points. Alexander Arnold had 12 points. Marsh had 2 points. Saka was there with 6 points. Salah had 6 points also. Trossard had 2 points. Mount 2 points. Haaland had 2 points. And their captain was Trippier, and he got the 2 points. I think this manager, and I know they are very new to it and they arrived late, I think they have missed a lot of, what you say, chances, a lot of opportunities that could have helped them to move up on this table here. They could have, worked and got better results and got moving up above, the Real, No Star and the Kalish Bait here. It's like they don't listen to us. And I wonder why they don't listen. We try to help them and they don't listen to us. Eamon, another manager maybe for the dinghy, is it?
I'll hold off for the moment. At least they have tried to do something at times. Like that Kalish Bait hasn't done anything. And Real No Stars is just packed up. Silver Stroke has an opportunity, still has a chance. If they use their chips, make an effort. That's all I'm saying. Make an effort.
And finally, no change in 14th place. Better Idea 22-23. Eamon, 38 points for this manager.
This manager has gone off campus for, I'd say, the season started here. No transfers. Fabianski was in goal and got 2 points. Sanchez didn't get any points. Diaz got 2 points. Salaba had 1 point. Andres had 3 points. De Bruyne had 2 points. Højbjerg came in with 3 points. Ward-Prowse did get 10 points. Saving grace there. Ings had 1 point. Tony had 1 point. They had Salah as the captain for 12 points. I think probably the telling thing of this is that this manager has managed to get more points than 4 of the other managers here. Now, I ask you, can you credit this here? It'll make you wonder if this manager, and I hope they're listening to us at some point, if they even spent 5 minutes a week at their team, things could have been very different for them. But they didn't. They've put a team in and they switched off. Like autopilot only gets you so far in this. You have to give some sort of level of time. And they didn't bother doing it.
Do you know something? It's great to have the three of you back and to hear the banter and the comments and the analysis. We have missed it a little bit there, but it's great. Can I put this to you? Like with the three managers slipping ever so slightly in this game week, and there's been no movement at all on the table. I think this must be one of the very few weeks that we have had no movement here. But with their slipping up ever so slightly, have they opened a way for Arkham Avengers to maybe break into the top three? After all, they are closing the gap on them there. Eamon, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, certainly the spoofer has benefited from their lack of belief that they wouldn't select another player to go for their captain. Like the spoofer did this, and we have to hand it to the spoofer. And as you know, I'm one of the ardent critics of the spoofer here, but in recent game weeks, they've been taking some hard choices. They've been stepping outside of the box here, and they're, game week 24, they're 13 points behind Tayega, and they're closing and the good, the bad, and the goalie. So they're 13 points behind those two lads, and they're 23 points behind Kane's keeper. Like 13 points and 23 is not much. Like if they continue to slip, and the spoofer managed to have a big week with a big haul of points, the top of that table can change very quickly here. The question here, of course, is when the double game weeks come up here, who's going to gamble? Who's going to be strategic? And like one manager is possibly going to get this right when it comes to the captain and the players. And that's going to be a clincher. The double game weeks, the double game week coming up. And there's another one coming up shortly. And I think that's going to be it. And if they've got chips to play, how did they play the chips there? The spoofer so far has played very well in the last number of weeks. They are on a run and like they've got confidence. Hector?
Well, firstly, I have to say, I still can't believe that, the Raglan Man and the Recitation Man came in for the interview. That's for another show. I'll go back to my question here. When you think about what the manager is doing, like the Arkham Avengers decided to go with the Rashford. Then they took and Rashford is playing very well, I have to say. Like the Haaland is a little bit off form at times. But they must have thought that Haaland was going to do the business. And when they no. They had the moment, like Eamon said, you have 13 points and 23 points. Like the Arkham Avengers have to try and make up that sort of point and make it more to try and overtake them. And in my humble opinion, I think that the real battle probably is going to be between Kane the keeper and the good, the bad, and the goalie. One of them are going to be the winner. And I think that one of them is going to have to do something really different and reach for the stars and take that first spot. And this could come down to the wire. Mick, any comment on this?
Well, I've missed a couple of game weeks. So I don't think I'm in any position really to be commenting on this. Especially, I've not been kept up to date on how well they've all been doing. But I do agree. I think, what Eamon's saying, if you've got confidence running, you're willing to take a gamble, willing to try something different, pays off at times, and, fair play if it does.
Can I ask now, of course, when we look at the league table, pretty much as it stands, 1 to 5 are there. You've got 6th and 7th battling it between themselves. This is best season ever and Raglan, and at the moment, best season ever have the edge, and then Blightsome are standing adrift slightly in 8th place. That's pretty much the makeup of the table, isn't it? The table's split. I don't even know if I'd say the table is split like that, because let's face it, Blightsome are out of the running at the moment and not making any shape to get in there, and Raglan aren't gaining any traction. Best season ever looked like they were going to make a good run for that. They got into 5th place, they've fallen, and they've not been able to get back in there, and I think Lafayette is doing enough to hold them off. I think so. Really what you're looking at here is 1 to 4. You're including Arkham Avengers in it? Yes, I think Arkham Avengers possibly could try and take 3rd place in this. Anybody else any comment on that?
No, except I still can't believe that, you're in this interview.
Hector, can you just stall it there?
I want to just say, I think you yourself and Eamon have nailed it there. There's a real bit of a battle, I think, going on with the top 4. I don't think it's all cut and dry there. The thing is, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd just might have enough to keep those positions, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Someone moves in, someone moves out.
But that sounds like a little bit of step dancing there, Mick. Okay, lads, as always, thanks very much for that, and we will have a look to see what Game Week 25 has in store. Now, Hector, since you're back, is there any Hector's hello for us this week? Yes, I have, yeah. Okay, hello again to Hector's hello. And a big shout out to all our listeners in Spain, France, Iran, Dublin, Dundalk, Longford, down in Carlow, the Monaghan, Cavan, Mayo, Belfast, Frankfurt am Main, that's in Germany, Poland, Italy, Portugal, Japan. We have listeners in Linwood in Washington, Nixa in Missouri, Oregon, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco. We have listeners in Brazil. Hi, Mom. Hope you're all doing well. The glasses are fine. Don't worry about it. Our listeners in Argentina, and we also have listeners in Kuala Lumpur at the moment. Okay, that's great. Thanks for that, Hector. Look, that's mighty stuff altogether. You're doing a great job. Good to have the Hector's hellos back.
And I don't know about that. I thought we were doing good without it. But I defer to your knowledge on that.
Lads, I'd like to say a big thank you to each and every one of you for coming in this week. Mick, I know you're very busy, and I'm very grateful that you took the time to join it.
Thank you. Well, as I said, when I get an opportunity to drop you in, I'll drop you in. By the way, lads, you're still invited over to Blackpool. Always welcome to come over. I can find you a place to stay, no bother.
Well, that could be Hector's next jaunt over to Blackpool. You visit the Blackpool Tower. There's a tower over there. Oh, yeah, there is, yeah. I'm sure you'd love it. Lots of amusements as well. And Eamon, thank you as well.
Not at all. It's a pleasure to always be here.
All right, okay. Well, sure, look. Enjoy the rest of the days. Enjoy the football that's coming up. And we'll be talking to some, if not all of you, on our next show. And to our listeners, yet again, thank you for joining us, for following us, subscribing to us, telling your friends and colleagues, families about us here. We do appreciate it. Each and every one of our listeners is important to us, and we're glad that you're on this journey with us. And pretty much what's left for me to say is mind yourselves and take care. Enjoy the coming days and the weekend until we're back again with another show. And until then, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. We will be back. Slán.